Antiquelens has posted a video entitled Al Gore Accused of Sexual Assault. Now, I want to say at the outset that I like Antiquelens. I think she is smart, highly articulate, creative, and excellent actress, and I recommend that people subscribe to her videos. Her ad-busting videos are not to be missed. But I am disturbed by the tone and some of the implications of her video about Al Gore. I'm also very disturbed by relevant facts that Antiquelens omitted in her account of the case. I'll discuss these matters a little later. The gist of the allegation is as follows. A massage therapist is claiming that Al Gore sexually assaulted her in Portland, Oregon in 2006. For the salient, prurient details of the allegation, I recommend Antiquelens' video. The alleged details of the assault comprise most of her film. Strikingly similar to many right-wing conservatives, Antiquelens is apparently upset that these allegations haven't received wider coverage, and some news organizations, like Salon.com, haven't taken the allegations seriously. Now, the truth is, Salon.com believes there are good reasons to think that the woman's allegations are doubtful. Antiquelens seems to think that Salon's article, 3 Reasons to Doubt the Al Gore Sex Assault Story, is a case of automatically assuming that a woman's allegations of sexual assault against a man are not true. Yet Antiquelens offers no evidence for thinking that this article is erroneous or that Salon.com is unjustified in its position. She merely reads portions of the woman's allegations against Gore. Moreover, Antiquelens completely omits the reasons Salon.com cites for doubting the woman's allegations. Well, I'll give them to you verbatim. First, and I quote, "The Portland police declined to investigate the woman's claims any further after she made her statement, citing a lack of evidence." End of quote. Second, quote, "The allegations were apparently known 2 years ago to at least one Portland media outlet, the Portland Tribune, a weekly paper that declined to report on them. The paper's editor tells Ben Smith that the allegations didn't meet the test points that the paper uses to determine whether a story is likely to be true." End of quote. Third, quote, "We have seen plenty of cases of baseless, if vivid, sexual allegations against celebrities before. Tucker Carlson was once accused by a woman he'd never met, for instance. Something similar happened with the magician David Copperfield last year, too." End of quote. Here is something else Antiquelens fails to tell you in her video. She doesn't tell you that Salon.com did cover the woman's allegations in a separate story entitled "How One Paper Tried and Failed to Confirm Al Gore's Sex Allegations." But these are not the only potential relevant and possibly exculpatory facts that Antiquelens omitted in her film. She omitted that the woman didn't contact the police until 6 weeks after the alleged assault occurred. Even then, the woman only contacted the police through an attorney. When the police made 3 appointments with her to take her statement, she canceled all of the appointments. Antiquelens didn't tell you in her film that the woman eventually told the police that she had decided not to bring criminal charges against Gore because she wanted to pursue a civil action against him. You know, sue Al Gore for money. But she never did bring suit against him. Antiquelens didn't tell you in her video that the woman tried to sell her story to the National Enquirer for $1 million, but the National Enquirer refused to pay the woman any money. Antiquelens didn't emphasize that it wasn't until 2009 when the woman finally sat down with the police to give them a statement, a full 2 years after the alleged incident occurred. Even then, the police had insufficient evidence to bring charges against Gore. While none of these facts means that the alleged incident didn't occur, on their face they should weigh in favor of Gore's innocence, given that, legally speaking, Gore is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And what about that, Antiquelens? What about the presumption of Gore's innocence? I specifically asked you that question in the comments section of your video, and I don't see where you have ever answered it. Should we presume that Al Gore is innocent until proven guilty, Antiquelens? Is that what you are doing? Or are you doing something else? Were you presuming his innocence, Antiquelens, when you dropped this insinuation in your video? Quote, I was thinking as I was reading about this, about Al Gore's recent announcement that he and his wife are thinking about getting a divorce. Any possible ties to that? I don't know. End of quote. Fascinating. Getting a divorce, simply getting a divorce, is possible evidence that someone committed sexual assault. Well, that's not an argument. That's not evidence. That's merely smarmy gossip making. And you don't cover yourself at all, Antiquelens, when you state, quote, I'm not stating, though, what's true and what's false. I'm just saying that it's wrong to automatically assume that this woman is just a liar, end of quote. You don't cover yourself, Antiquelens, in that statement because there is no evidence that anyone automatically assumed that the woman was a liar. The Portland police bent over backwards trying to elicit cooperation from this woman. The Portland Tribune spent several months trying to get the woman to cooperate with them in such a way that they could bring the story to press, but the woman refused to fully cooperate. The facts don't support you, Antiquelens. Your video walks the edge of being little more than a cheap smear against Al Gore.